You want to share next? You don't? Well, that's a sign.
That's a sign. That's a sign.
That is a sign. It may be helpful for you to share.
God. I've got a voice screaming in my head saying, no, don't share, not now.
That sounds harsh.
It's this feeling like I just need to waffle a bit. So I can get to judging myself.
Feels like there's some idea in you that it's like very high stakes. Like the sharing or not sharing is very high stakes.
Yeah.
But this is like something around everything, maybe everything being very high stakes.
Yeah, it was only when I sat down afterwards I was aware of like tension in my jaw during. Wasn't there when I was listening, playing with the Holy Spirit, but when I was sharing, and it's constantly there anyway, just this tightness in my jaw. But when I sat down, I could feel like pain in my womb.
Mm. Mm.
Like a dragging, feeling like a water infection. It's been coming and going for quite a while.
Mm.
And the memory of, when I was going off travelling the first time. And about 2 weeks before I was due to set off, I found out I was pregnant. Or maybe a bit longer than that, I don't know. But me and my ex had split up. And I was kind of I wasn't really seeing someone else, but I was sleeping with someone else. Who I was really like into. It was probably the first time I was really into him, and he didn't want a relationship, and I was going off travelling, and we saw each other two or three, 4 times. But the last time, it was the very next morning. I slept with him, and the very next morning, I knew I was pregnant. I just knew. And so then I was questioning, like, is this my ex's?
Mm.
Like, it would probably be a miracle for it to be the very next day. Anyway, I just felt so much shame about that, like it could be this guy's. But I do feel like it was my ex's. I was pregnant with my ex.
It sounds though that the awareness came right after you had slept with him. Like this awareness, and it can be like that. Actually, when I was pregnant, I was aware in the same moment that I became pregnant, that I was pregnant.
So I could have conceived that night, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't wanted to admit that bit to myself.
It sounds like that.
Yeah. Oh, it feels better just for starting to talk.
Yeah, yeah. Feels good. Yeah. Share anything.
Yeah, so basically I didn't tell anyone.
Mm.
Even the girl I was living with at the time. Just had to make a story up that I had to go into hospital for something. I was adamant I wasn't having the baby. I was going off travelling, and I did not. The last thing I wanted was for my ex to be in my life, like for the for the best of to have this child and for him to have to be in my life forever. And I just had this attitude of like, I don't care. I didn't care. I wanted the baby out of me. And in the end, I told my mum, because I had, it's all the time, it's all funny in my mind all the timings of it all, but I basically collapsed on the floor with like labour pains. And I had to phone my mum to come and get me and take me to the hospital. And that's where I arranged like to have the, I don't even know what's it called, like a termination. But then 2 days later, I miscarried. It's almost like I willed.
Mm.
And my ex knew I was in hospital as well, and I didn't tell him. It's probably the same sort of feeling that I still have now, like I didn't want him to use that information against me. But 2 days later, I was in the shower, and the baby came out, like, still intact in the sack. And I had to put it in an empty coffee jar and take it to the hospital for the doctor to see him. And I did that, and I got the all clear, and I went off travelling. Like, not a care in the world. Oh, that's what I told myself.
Feels intense.
And I literally haven't allowed myself to think, like, oh, that baby would be this age now, or I've just completely blocked it out.
Mm.
But then when I got with Gareth and I tried to get pregnant, and I did have a miscarriage with Gareth, and it felt like punishment. Like, oh, I'm not going to be able to have kids now because that's God punishing me.
Mm. Still guilt. In a way, I do feel like I can see when I had postnatal depression. It almost feels like had it not been for that experience, it would have been a lot more severe. I was so grateful to have Ava. Like, I can see how it was all part of the plan. Yeah.
But I haven't spoken about it.
Mm.
I think the most shameful part about it was that I'd been with this lad.
Mm. Mm. Why were you so ashamed of that? You really liked him, you said?
I liked how he looked. Yeah, just probably because it wasn't a relationship and it was just a fling.
Mm.
And the timing of it, so, you know, I knew I was going off travelling, it's all just a bit pointless and felt cheap.
Well, I'm glad you're talking about it. I'm glad you're releasing it. You have held on so long, not talking about it.
It ends up being a feeling like I just don't want to waste time. You know, I knew when you said there was a break, I was thinking, oh no, like I know this has got to come out. And then I see huge benefits afterwards. But just want my prayer for this retreat was I just want to know that I'm innocent.
Yeah, and to know that you're innocent, you need to release anything you're ashamed of. That's it. That's what you're doing. I just feel your innocence. I don't think this is anything to feel guilty for.
I think it's just because I felt so uncaring. Uncaring of myself and the baby and
You probably couldn't do better than that. You probably couldn't access care, you know. So you have this miscarriage or abortion, and then you had kind of kept the guilt in here since then, you know. But I think you're accessing care now. You are deepening in care. So it's kind of just clearing out these pockets that have been held.
yeah. That was the experience in it. I found it easy to be the listener, and I felt those moments where just love poured out of me like I was the other person. I was Anne, I was Sol. But in the other role of being the sharer, completely different experience. Feeling of being cared for and of just having time and space.
You're worthy of the healing. Completely worthy of the healing.
That's it.
That's good. That's worth an applause. You sure it's it?
Just shame. I don't want anyone to look at me and the same feeling I always get. Go, no, go do something else. But it just, it feels, I can feel some, it feels like relieved.
Yeah. Maybe you look around at some of us and just connect.
Don't want to look at anyone else.
Choose a couple or three. Is that it?
Yeah. I'm hot. I'm hot. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's sweet.
And I do just want to say that the baby is not a victim. There are no victims here.
Yeah, because it did feel like the baby was so unwanted.
Mm. You have them both later.
Oh, guilt. It's just, yeah. I believe it, I've messed it up. And yeah, just not listening to that ego voice, because I'm healing now and I can see the beauty in that.
And when it's for the healing, you can let the guilt come up.
Sometimes it just feels like a habit, though, to go to those thoughts, you know. Oh, it's more like, yeah, I'm not doing that now. I'm not doing that now. Yeah. I kind of do this as well, where like last night I got back and the kids were both so cheery and we just laughed. I was actually laughing until my ribs hurt last night. Everyone was doing her impersonations. But then I want to judge that. I think, oh, this is just, they want to entertain me now because they think I'm sad and I want to judge it. Instead of just, even if it is a little bit of ego, like, just, it's all right, this is what we all need.
Yeah.
You know?
Sweet.
Yeah. I really wanted to have those conversations, like what we spoke about. It was a feeling like I'm confident those conversations are coming, but I do need to tune in and I need to feel into when. And last night we just goofed around.
They were already happy and
yeah,
it's sweet. They just want you to feel that you're not guilty. Or,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Mm.
But yeah, the guilt, I need to keep releasing the guilt.
Yeah, that's a message for you, but really for us all around the healing, you know, like to not use the metaphysics of the Course to say, well, there's no guilt, it's all an illusion. Well, but the part of you that believes in it needs to show itself. It needs to come up fully.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like anything specific right now, that's probably why it's hard to, but it's just motherhood in general.
You said you felt guilty for feeling that the child was so unwanted. So I think you did name a specific belief or feeling.
Yeah, like completely unconsidered, which feels relevant. Selfish, probably, just get rid of that, pretend it hasn't happened, move on, go and have fun, go and travel, get drunk, go and...
Yeah, and the guilt has to be projected. So this guilt was projected onto this scenario. This guilt of the belief in separation.
What do you mean?
It's playing out a mini separation. So project the guilt of the separation from God. That is the core in the mind.
I feel like it came back to bite me on the bum when I got pregnant the first time and lost the baby before Ava. I wouldn't actually have Ava if I'd have kept that baby because I got pregnant. You know, so even that makes me think.
It was Eva all along.
Hmm?
I mean, there's, it's such a belief that that one is dead or one didn't come, but I'd say it was Eva all along. You know, it's just been welcoming love when you were ready for it.
That feels absolutely true. It couldn't have been anyone but Ava. Oh God, like she burst on the scene with just all of her raw emotions.
And you had to have some maturity to be ready for her. You were just not ready until.
She was sent, I always said she was sent to test me. Test my readiness for God.